What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's your boy, Untouchable City Prepper, checking in with you. 6:09 in the morning, and in Detroit, and I think in New York, we got two new mayors. We got two new mayors in Detroit, and we got one in New York. We got one in Detroit. Mary Sheffield is the one in Detroit, and the other guy in New York, I can't remember his name, but he beat Como, which is very interesting. But both of these candidates are Democrat. Okay. But I believe both of these guys, the man and the woman, are both, it feels like they're both socialists. And it's, right now I understand a lot of people are hurting. So I think that had a lot to do with the way everybody voted, because so many people right now are just getting laid off. It's a lot of, the government is still shut down at the time of this video, and it's really hard for the average guy to just make it right now. I'll be completely transparent and honest about that. I believe we all feel that. And I also believe that, it's hard to be middle class right now. It's hard. I do believe there's a middle class, but it's so hard to be middle class right now. You know what I'm saying? Because either right now, you got it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? You're either doing good or you're not doing good. So it's really hard to pinpoint a middle class. It's hard to put it used to be middle class was like 100,000. You know what I'm saying? 100,000 to 150,000 a year. That was kind of like the middle class, I would say like maybe 85 to 150,000. That was kind of like your middle class, like back in the day, like the 90s through the 2000s, early 2000s. But now it's so hard to determine the middle class, because the middle class really not even doing good. The middle class is like, excuse me, we live in check to check, so it's so hard to determine the middle class. But these two mayors who got elected, I believe they're pretty socialist, especially the guy in New York, and people don't understand that when you give away resources for free, it's going to cause everything else to go up. I do believe that there's certain people who need the resources, but it's a lot of people that's just, they using the system, and it's only hurting the hardworking people like me and some of you other guys each and every day, and I do feel sorry for the people who really need the help, who really need the aid or whatever. But I'm telling everybody in America, like, socialism is not the way. You don't want it. Like, look at Canada. They messed up. They don't have no guns. Their healthcare system is fucked up. Like, everything in Canada is just bad. Like France tried it. France, they can't keep a leader. Like, socialism is like the destruction of democracy, because when you give away things for free, first of all, you never want anything for free, because anything for free is going to make you dependent, and it's going to make you is most times it's not of high quality. You know what I'm saying? I do understand that there are certain people who do need shit for free, but if you can avoid it, never take anything for free. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just need it, like you hungry, whatever. But most things in a business setting is never good for free. You know what I'm saying? And it ultimately, especially as a man, it makes you weak. You know what I'm saying? Even when you meet a woman on the street, you know, I'm just using this as a scenario, and she said, you know, she'll do something for you for free is never good. You know, that's why having a good woman costs money. It's expensive to have a good mate because it's maintenance involved in keeping that good mate. You know what I'm saying? If you met somebody on the street and they say they just want everything, you know, they'll give you everything you ask for free, you're going to be like, well, you know, what's the thing? You know, not saying there aren't people out there who are like that, but y'all get where I'm going with this. So, you know, but it's going to be interesting, man. These two mayors are super socialists. I don't know the gross income of New York because I know it's a lot higher cost of living, but I believe the gross median in Michigan is around $30,000 to $40,000, which is absolutely pathetic. It's extreme poverty. You know what I'm saying? Extreme poverty. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see how these two cities develop. You know, I wish them the best because both of these cities need support in the hardest way possible. But socialism will never work. You know, just, you know, the reason why food is high because it's costing more to make the food. Wages went high, cost of living went high. But when you give away stuff for free, it puts pressure on everybody else who's paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So you're devaluing what you're giving away for free. You know what I'm saying? That's why socialism will never work because it only hurts the people who are working hard every day. But most minorities, especially in the African American community, they feel like socialism is a good thing because they looking at the short term. But if you're somebody who waking up and you working every day and you making strides to be allegedly a part of that middle class, then it's gonna ultimately hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So just thought I'd share them thoughts with you guys on that. I could be right, I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. I appreciate everybody who tuning in to my channel each and every day. Thank you for everybody who likes, sharing, subscribing, and making a comment. Appreciate you guys waking up with me every morning. God bless. And as always, I love you with the strength of Christ. Thank you.